All right, we are recording. And actually, before I share things or we share things on your end, I wanted to share something on my end. Let me get it pulled up here. Uh, mm, maybe we'll start. We'll just start with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So as I mentioned in the announcement that I posted earlier in the last week, I've already given this lecture about the syllabus earlier, right? So really, you guys just need to watch those videos that I've already posted, and I'm going to try not to repeat myself and waste everybody's time. So if you're watching this and you haven't watched the other videos, watch those videos and then come back and watch this. Basically, for this video, I just want to highlight a few things that are really important, and then answer any questions that Andrea might have, since she's the only one here. So yeah, first thing, I'm going to have Andrea share her screen and show how to find the syllabus. Um, so first thing I'm going to do is, I guess, walk you through that. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see some icons. Like from left to right, you see a little microphone, a little camera, a box with a CC, a hand, and then a box with an up arrow.
Yes.
So you'll hit that box with the up arrow. That's present now. And then it'll give you some options, and you can choose whatever you want, your entire screen, a window, a tab. For me, it's easier to just do your entire screen. I will say, too, before you do that, if you have any personal things pulled up on your screen, you might want to make sure that's closed first. Like bank account information, you might
Oh,
have your
right.
website or something. So make sure that's cleared off. But then, yeah, hit whichever three of those you want. And then after you do that, it'll pop up like a preview. And then you click on that to basically say it's okay. And you hit the share button. Perfect. And as I already told Andrea, but I'm going to repeat myself since we're recording now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you not just the syllabus, but where to find the syllabus. And I would show you on my screen that Moodle looks a little bit different. WVSU Online looks a little bit different on my end because I'm the teacher than it would your end. So here we go. Yeah. So if you could just, I guess, slowly pull up. Do you know where to find the syllabus?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if you just want to do it, maybe even describe what you're doing.
Right. So I'm just into my biology class. I'm sure they know how to get there.
Right.
And then the syllabus tab is here.
There you go. All
And
right.
then I always print mine out.
Okay. Yeah, so if you could just scroll down for me a little bit to, I think, the first page. Yeah, here we go. Course information. So, yeah, let me talk a little bit about this. Obviously, my name is Vasilios Dianelos. I know that's a mouthful. Luckily, it's an online class, so usually you're not going to be verbalizing my name. But if you ever do, you could shorten it. Mr. V, Professor G, whatever you want, as long as it makes sense to me. If you call me Bob, I'm not going to know who that is. So as long as it makes sense, I'm fine with it. Then you see my phone number right there. That is my office phone number. But my office phone number is forwarded to my cell phone. So please keep that in mind. You can call me anytime, any day. Like, I don't care. You call me 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I don't care because, I don't judge. I don't question why you're up at 3 o'clock doing. I think it's pretty cool to be up 3 o'clock doing work. But the point is, it's forwarded to my cell phone. And when I go to sleep, I always turn my cell phone off. So you never have to worry about disturbing me. Call me anytime you want. If I happen to be awake, I'll answer it and help you out. So please call. And on that note, I want to point out, I think I pointed this out before. I want to make sure this is very clear. This is an online course, obviously, so it is designed for you to be able to do it on your own, right? And with very little to any interaction from me. But I do like to interact, and I am here if you need me. So any assignment you do, whether it's, the quiz, definitely the discussions, definitely the labs. When you're doing those labs or those assignments, you're not on your own. You can come to me. You can meet me online, and we can. I will walk through all these things with you, like step by step if I need to. We can go like looking at the labs. I can talk to you about the introduction, and then walk you through how to fill out the table and how to get the data, and reiterate the question or reword the questions for you, whatever the case may be. So yeah, please take me up on that. If you need help, I'm here to help you. And then scrolling, or not scrolling, but if you look down a little bit too, you can see my office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 10:40. That's just when you're guaranteed to find me. I'm more than happy to meet you anytime outside of those hours. So any questions so far?
No.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward, right? Yeah, my office right there, you can see it's 131 Hamblin Hall, so it's first floor. I'm closer to the highway than I am the library, so I'm on that side of the building. What else? Okay, now that I'm looking at it, I'm glad we pulled this up. There is a link, looks like, for the office hours, but that is now a dead link. So you don't want to use that link. If you ever want to meet me online, just email me, and I'll just give you the link, and then we can meet that way. Now, in a perfect world, I would just say use this link, like the one you and I are on right now, Andrea.
Right.
But sometimes they go dead, like the links will just die or stop working, and then I have to refresh it. So that's why we're in this situation. That's why you just need to email me whenever you want to meet.
Okay.
All right. So any questions about that?
No.
All right. If you have any issues with me, you can see right there the academic program associate. Her name is Miss Tina Sanchez. She's in the front office here at Hamblin. Obviously, I think if you have any issues with me, you should let me know so I can fix them. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, she's not in charge, but she's kind of like the go-to person. So if you tell her about a problem or an issue you're having, she can direct you to the right person, which might be like my chair, which is Dr. Sean Collins, or my dean, which is Dr. Zaman. So, like I said, if you have issues, let me know. But if you don't feel comfortable, let somebody know. You're paying for this, so might as well get the most out of it. Any questions about that?
No.
All right. Course description. You guys can read that, and also read what I posted. I'm looking over here. What I posted earlier. When was that? On Thursday. Whoops. Wrong one. When did I post this? Anyway, the one I posted, the one I said welcome to the course, basically. That's the course description. This course is not me. I'm trying to think of how some people described it before having it. It's not a tree hugging course, right? We're not going to sit here and talk about how important and great the environment is and how you need to drive green cars and, only flush when it's number 2. Nothing like that, right? What you're going to learn in this class, the first half of it, you're going to learn all the science, right? All the things you need to know, like the science behind stuff, some history behind some stuff, some philosophy, some political science stuff. You're going to learn all the basics in the first half, and then the second half, you're going to use that knowledge to look at the issues, right? Look at the different types of producing electricity, look at electric vehicles versus gas vehicles and all that. So again, the purpose here is not for me to say, this is what's good and this is what you need to do for the environment. It's more like, here's the tools that you need to figure this out on your own, right? So using electric cars for an example, if we were to have a discussion about electric cars 5 years ago versus having a discussion about electric cars 5 years from now, I'm sure it'd be a completely different discussion, right? So you don't need to memorize, the specific facts of this book. It's more like giving you the tools so you can do your own research. So when it comes time for you to vote or buy something, you can make your own informed decisions. And I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't think. I'm here to help you make informed decisions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, for example, I know driving a pickup truck is bad for the environment, but I do it. I need it for my business, right? So,
right.
We all do things that are bad for the environment and good for the environment. And it's up to us to decide, exactly what we want to do. And this course just helps you do that. So anyway, that's it for the course description, basically, and the objectives in my words. So any questions about that?
No.
All right. Yeah, if you scroll down, textbook, you'll definitely need that. I've never even seen the first edition. Even this edition, the second edition, is 2016, so it's a little bit dated. But like I said, the specific details aren't that important. Like, for example, it'll tell you somewhere in that textbook, it talks about the population. And obviously the number in 2016 is different than it is now, but that specific number isn't important, right? I'm just giving you the tools you need to understand. So that's why we're dealing with a book from 2016. But yes, you definitely need it. It's a 100-level course. So I teach out of the textbook and I test out of the textbook. So all your exams, actually the way I've written your exams is that the publisher of the textbook gives me stuff as an instructor. One of the things they give me is a test bank. So I've taken the questions from that test bank. I've chosen, some of them were random, some of them I felt were very important. Anyway, I've taken those questions and I've reworded them, and that's where your exams come from. So straight from your textbook. Any questions about the textbook? Okay. Then let's look down here at the points values. So basically the whole course is worth 1,000 points. You can see the discussions are worth overall 200 points right throughout the semester. So when you think about that, that's 2 letter grades. So let's say, for example, you're just really good, you're really smart, you ace all the exams, you ace all the quizzes, you do really good on all the labs. Even if you do all that, and then if you don't participate in the discussions, you would have a 200. So you'd have a B at the best, right? Or I guess another way of looking at it is if you're a really weak student and you would normally have 500, which is failing, 500 points at the end of the course, the discussions can bump you up to 700, which would be a C. So depends on how you look at it. It can help you or it can hurt you. But anyway, it's mathematically important. What else to say about the discussions? Just make sure you do it earlier the better, because if you've looked at any of them this week, you'll see that some people left some stuff off of their posts. And since it's early, I gave them their tentative grade, and then I replied back to them and said, hey, can you also reply back and give me this information, that information? Then they have the ability to earn, the full points. And the earlier you turn it in, the more likely it is that I'll do that. If you're turning it in, Wednesday at 11:50, which is like 10 minutes before it's due, then that's not going to happen, right? Your grade's just your grade because there is no time to fix it. So anyway, your initial one post is always due on Wednesday, and then your replies are due by Sunday. And again, the earlier, the better. And again, you don't have to do it alone. If you're reading the prompt and you're like, I'm not sure exactly what he wants from me, contact me. Let me walk you through it. I'm fine with that. Any questions about discussions?
No.
All right. Quizzes are straightforward. You have one every week. Each week we cover 2 chapters. So that one quiz is going to be 20 points. 20 points, and it's going to cover the 2 chapters that we did that week. Quizzes are almost like homework when you think about it, because they're not timed and you can take them as many times as you need to. So if for some reason there's ever a glitch and you take a quiz and you didn't get the perfect score and you wanted to take it again and the system won't let you, email me and let me know and I'll fix that, because you should be able to take it as many times as you want. Any questions about the quizzes?
No.
All right, you're nice and easy. Tests are sort of straightforward. We'll have them every 2 weeks. They're going to cover the previous 4 chapters. The first 3 exams are not comprehensive, right? So the first exam is going to cover the first 4 chapters. The second exam is going to cover the 4 chapters after that. The third exam is going to cover the 4 chapters after that. The fourth exam is different. The fourth exam will cover the 4 new chapters, but then it'll also cover all the old material. So the final exam is going to consist of about 100 questions. 50 of those questions are going to come for the last 4 chapters that we cover, and the other 50 questions are going to come verbatim from the first 3 exams. So literally the questions are just copied and pasted into that exam. I will provide study guides, but not right away, because I don't like teaching for exams. I want you to learn the subject. I don't want you to learn how to do good on a test. But study guides will be provided. And the way I wrote the study guide is I looked at each question and then just wrote something on the study guide, either reworded the question or just say, you need to know this fact or you need to know that fact. So it's pretty straightforward. And the last thing to say about exams is there's ways people cheat. I have an app on my phone next to one of my students where, one of my previous students, if I take a picture of a question, it'll pop up, it'll give me the answer. Like literally, I could take a picture of any quiz or exam. I take a picture of the question and it, Google does its magic and it gives me an answer. So what I've done for every single one of my questions on every single exam, I've used that app for every one to see if it does it. So when you see my questions, you'll see they're worded very, very oddly. Like, for example, I might say something like, only answer the question in red. And then there'll be like 4 questions listed, all of them in black except the one in red. And that's the one you need to read. And I do that because I have to trick the algorithm. That being said, sometimes the exam is hard, not because the material is hard, but just trying to understand exactly what I'm asking. Like, not hard, but it just takes time to read it and figure out what I'm asking. So because of that, if you need more time to take the exam, just contact me beforehand. And if I can ensure you're taking a closed book exam, I don't care how long it takes you. Like the same way you and I are meeting right now, if we were to do this during an exam, you could just eliminate the time limit, because I can see you, I can see your screen, I can hear you. So, I know you're not like looking something up on the internet, and I know you're not looking at your book. Of course, if this was an exam, I might have you take your headphones off, maybe. I don't know, because I don't know what you're listening to. But we will cross that bridge when we get there.
You'll probably get background from my girls.
Oh, that's okay. I'm used to it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the thing with the exam. So any questions about that?
Will the quizzes and tests be available for review all the way up until the comprehensive final exam?
Yes, great question. And if they're not, again, that would be a glitch in the system. So let me know if they're not.
Okay.
Lab's pretty straightforward. It's just one worksheet a week. You go in there, follow the instructions. Basically, it's all about the scientific method. Basically, you're presented with a question. You come up with a hypothesis for it. And as you'll read in Lab 1, a hypothesis is a tentative answer to a question that's testifiable and falsifiable and all that. I'm not going to go into it because you get it in the lab. But yeah, so every week you do that. And again, you don't have to do it alone. You can meet me online. We can literally meet just like this, and I can walk you through each question if I need to, because the labs aren't testing you. They're not trying to see, all right, can you do this? It's more like just making you do it, right? It's not a test. It's just you just need to put the work in. And if you need help, I'm here to help you. And also, speaking of which, same thing with the exams and discussions too. If you go to my YouTube channel and go to that playlist that I've already shared, there's videos of me giving feedback in previous semesters. So I highly recommend that. Like if you're about to do discussion number 3, go look at the playlist. You can see where I've maybe met somebody and talked to them about what they did wrong and what they did right about discussion 3. So you'll know before going into it exactly what I'm looking for. So I recommend that. Any questions about any of this graded stuff?
No.
All right. On that note, something that's not listed on the syllabus is extra credit. And I know this is listed. I've discussed this in other videos, so I'll try to make it quick. I'm going to soon post an extra credit section to the announcements, and I'm just going to throw all kinds of extra credit at you. They're not going to be worth many points, and that's for a reason. First of all, there's going to be a ton of extra credit opportunities. So if they were worth a lot of points, that would be pretty insane. Like there'd be hundreds of points worth of extra credit, and we don't need that. Which brings me to my next point. In my opinion, extra credit should not be a game changer. Like if you have a low B or maybe even a mid B, extra credit shouldn't boost you all the way up to an A. I just don't believe that. The reason I have extra credit, other than to help get you guys engaged and give you an incentive to get engaged, is more for the students who are like, the end of the semester, they're like, I'm only half a point away from the next letter grade. Why won't you just give it to me? Because then I could just say, well, if you're only half a point away from the next letter grade, just go choose one of those extra credit things and do it. And you can boost your own grade. And another thing about extra credit, like I said, I'm about to post some. I'm going to be posting it throughout the semester. But if you have an idea for extra credit, just let me know. If you're like, I don't know, you're going to the zoo and like, hey, is there any way I can get extra credit for that? And we'll talk about it. And we'll figure out what you can do to earn extra credit for going to the zoo because that's biology related. Then, we'll figure it out. So whatever it is, run it by me. The worst I can do is say, no, we can't do that. But if you have an idea for extra credit, please let me know. And it's mostly biology related stuff, obviously, but sometimes you also get extra credit just for getting engaged in the community and on the campus. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know. Whew, all right. Any questions about grades or extra credit?
No.
All right. Do you mind scrolling down a little bit again? Yeah, we already talked about that. That's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's all there. Weekly discussions, I already talked about that, but you should read it when you get a chance. Quizzes and tests, we've talked about all that. Due dates, all right, officially, I do not accept late work. That's what it says right there on the syllabus. Unofficially, I will accept late work for half credit. So if you just didn't do a lab when you were supposed to, and then you just want to do it later, you can do it for half credit. Speaking of which, for all the assignments, as long as it's before the due date, you can still redo stuff. So if you do your lab and I give you a grade back and it's not perfect, you can redo it for, up until the due date to get a perfect grade. Same with the discussions. You can just do more and more discussions if you need to. But anyway, the point is before the due date, you can still fix things and get full credit. And then even after the due date, like let's say it's the end of this, week 5, and you're like, you know what? I want to go back and fix lab 2. Go back and fix it. Now, obviously, because it's past the due date, you only get half credit. So like, let's say you scored a 50 on it, a 50% the first time you took it. and then the next time you took it or did the lab, you got 100%. Well, because it's half credit, you would end up with a 75, which is still better than a 50. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so for no matter what, for all the assignments, and exams and quizzes included, you can redo them after the due date for half credit, or do them if you didn't do them at all. All right. But yeah, again, that's not listed in the syllabus. Again, the syllabus just says no late work. The reason being is some people take advantage of that and they just do horrible. So if you're one of those students who's just constantly just doing things late instead of on, because you're like, oh, I'll get half credit, then I might go to the syllabus and say, all right, well, we're not doing that anymore. Just taking advantage of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So yep, that's the thing for due dates. If you keep scrolling, like I already said, we already talked about lab. Again, the earlier you turn it in, the better, because when I return it to you with a grade, you have until the due date to fix it. And on that note, I will say I do my best to do that, but again, that's not in the syllabus because I might have a horrible week, at home, or so it might be that you turn it in on Monday and I can't even grade it until Sunday night, in which case, obviously, the thing I just talked about couldn't happen for you because you wouldn't have time to do it. And in which case I just apologize, but that's why it's not in the syllabus, because sometimes I might not be able to. So yeah, don't count on being able to redo everything before the due date, but know that I strive for that. So far, I think I've always been able to, but anyway, any questions about that?
No.
All right. Course policies, we already talked about late work, student expectations. Just read your book, read the PowerPoints if you want. You don't even need to, because they're basically just like the cliff notes of the book. I would just recommend reading the book. Look at the videos that I post for extra credit. I mean, they really do help you, right? So they're good to help you learn the material, and also you can get a little bit of extra credit for it. Proctored testing, we've already talked about it. If you have an official way of doing it, so be it. But the easiest way is to do what you and I are doing right now, which is beating online. Course schedule, that's pretty straightforward. You can see right there, like I said, every week we cover 2 chapters. Every 2 weeks we have an exam. It's all right there. It's all straightforward. So I think that's it. I don't really have anything. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, I'm just thinking really quick to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Thinking about what I've posted in other videos. I think we've got everything. So yeah, like I said, watch the other videos if you haven't. I know you have, but whoever's watching this video, make sure you watch the other videos. Just make sure you stay on top of stuff, get stuff done early, do your readings, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for meeting with me, and thanks for sharing your screen. And if you don't mind, if you could send me an email to remind me that you helped me,
Okay.
I'll give you a little bit of extra credit, a little bit more extra credit for your help.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a good day. I'm going to stop recording now.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right.